Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with a recent update from Hunter Labrada, who is currently 3 weeks out for the Tampa Pro. These images were uploaded by his coach, Ben Chow. And I have to say, Hunter is looking pretty good in this back double bicep. He's no Derek Lunsford, but I think this shot has definitely improved. Hunter is showcasing a lot of detail throughout the back. And as I always say, Hunter usually looks pretty good going into the show. He just always ends up a little bit watery on show day. Now, his biggest competition in Tampa will be Justin Shire and Blessing Awodable. Depending on who wins Chicago will be his biggest competition between those two guys. But I think Hunter Labrada can hold both of those guys off as long as he comes in on. I mean, he was 7th place at last year's Olympia, and he has been as high as 4th at the Mr. Olympia. A lot of people disagree, but 4th at the Mr. Olympia, that's a pretty good placing. And let's take a look at the competitors list for the Chicago Pro. As we all know, the big names are going to be Blessing Awodable and Justin Shire. Patrick Moore is also in this show. Hopefully he finally shows up. We have Steven Daniels, Aaron Gali, Matt Cuba, Emmanuel Longoria. I would definitely say Emmanuel is a guy to watch out for. I've been keeping a very close eye on him since he placed 7th place at last year's Texas Pro. This guy is extremely wide. But a lot of people have been saying, why are all these competitors lists so short? Why are all the top guys not competing? Well, as far as the top 10 goes, I mean, Bonac and Rafa Brandea won't be at the Olympia. Hunter and Andrew are competing soon. Samson Dowdle's already qualified. So as far as the top 10 goes, they're either already qualified or already said to be doing the show. Ian Valier, Michael Crizo, 11th and 12th are also already qualified. Now, I did hear a rumor that Carlos Thomas Jr. should be competing soon, and Charles Griffin told me personally he will be on that 2023 Olympia stage. So you guys have two things to look forward to. And let's switch over to William Bonac, who recently posted up an update. And Bonac said today is his first day back training after 4 weeks off. And he said he's only been eating about 2 or 3 meals a day. Now, is it just me, or does Bonac look about 5 or 10 years younger? He actually looks pretty healthy in this update, and it's probably because he's a little bit downsized. And seeing William right now, hearing he's only eating 2 or 3 meals, I doubt he will be at this year's Olympia. Following the Arnold Classic, he said he will see us next year, so I figure we will see him at the 2024 Arnold Classic. But then again, who knows? But William Bonac is looking pretty healthy in this update. I'm happy to see it, honestly. And let's switch over to Nathan DeAsha, who recently posted up an update. I feel like we haven't talked about Nathan in a very long time. He's about 8 weeks out and should be competing at the Europa Pro against Regan Grimes and Good Vito. Actually, very early, but let me know in the comment section below. How do you guys think the Europa Pro is going to go? Is Good Vito going to beat Nathan DeAsha and Regan Grimes on a bum knee? But I'm excited to see Nathan back on a bodybuilding stage. And as far as how do I think Nathan will stack up against Good Vito and Regan Grimes, right now, I honestly have no idea. I don't know what to expect from Good Vito. He looks like an absolute freak from Instagram, but I'm not sure how he's going to look next to Nathan and Regan. The last time Nathan and Regan competed against each other, Regan Grimes came out on top, so I think this show is going to be very interesting from a lot of different angles. And let's switch over to Quinton Eriya, Quint Beastwood, who recently posted up an update sitting at 320 pounds. Once again, we will not see Quint on stage until next year. And I've been watching him on the HD podcast, and he said currently him and Matt Jansen have no show in mind. Right now, they're just focusing on improving. Hopefully, Quint hops into the New York Pro next year. Nick Walker tried to give him a little bit of push to do this show. Now let's switch over to the butcher, Brett Wilkin, who recently posted up an update. And Brett was one of the smart guys. He qualified for the Olympia last year, basically got an entire year off. And this is one guy I'm looking forward to seeing on stage. Brett brings crazy conditioning. The only time he came in a little bit off was at the Arnold Classic where he tried to play the size game. But Brett is another guy coached by Matt Jansen. He's had a full year off. I'm looking for improvements. Now let's switch over to Behrooz Tabani. Behrooz actually beat Brett Wilkin at last year's Romania Pro. And this guy is somewhat of a wild card going into this year's Olympia. I'm not expecting Behrooz to be top 6, maybe not even a top 10, but I think it's going to be interesting to see Behrooz Tabani next to some of the top bodybuilders. I mean, how is he going to stack up against Hassan Mustafa? Hassan has a lot more muscle, but Behrooz has a great structure, also brings crazy conditioning. Let me know in the comment section below. Where do you guys think Behrooz can fall at the Olympia if he gets a visa? Now let's switch over to Beef Stew Stuart Sutherland, who is currently sitting at 270 pounds. Stuart said he just got a little bit of blood work done. He's going to wait until that comes back, and then he's going to come up with a plan. He's actually coached by Blue. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys know who that is. I'm familiar with him from watching Leo and Longevity's podcast with Boston Lloyd. Crazy that both of those guys have passed away, may they rest in peace. But Blue is very big on conditioning. Stuart said his goal for this offseason is to basically get to 280, 285, but still have this level of conditioning. And once again, I applaud Stuart for taking a little bit of time off to improve, because it seems like a lot of bodybuilders are honestly scared to do that nowadays. I guess they feel like if they don't constantly compete, their name isn't going to be thrown in the mix. But as I mentioned before, I think a lot of guys could take advice from Stuart and just take a little bit of time off to improve and really come back and be a lot more competitive. Quinton Eriya is doing the same thing as well. Martin Fitzwater as well. But let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below who is this bodybuilder. And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.